Hello everybody, welcome to the TriStar Gym channel. Today's episode, we're going to be looking at Arman Tsarukyan punching Georgio Poullas in the face. Guys, was this warranted? Let's have a look, okay? I'm going to pop it up on screen. It's on your screen right now. Check this out, okay? Watch this. This is the end of the match, guys. I'm only showing the end of the match, okay? Watch this. Now we're going to talk about what led up to this. We're going to talk about what led up to this, but this is it, guys. This is the supposed crime, okay? Let me know what you guys think here. I want to see what you guys think. There it is. There it is. He pushed him off. The bell had already rung and all. The match is over. Arman pushes Poullas to his back. Now, Poullas thought it's over, right? He heard the horn. It's over. You kind of relax your body. Georgio was in on a shot. He relaxes. Arman takes advantage of that relaxation, pushes him on his back, and here it is. Here's a shot. Bang, there it is. That's one shot. Now here's a knee. A lot of people miss the knee. Watch this. Look at his right knee. Look at that right knee. He cocked it back. Here we go. Watch this. Bang, knee. Okay, I'm going to play that again. Okay, so here's the end. Look at this. 10 seconds left. Notice how Poullas is clubbing him and smacking behind the head. Okay, we're gonna talk about that in a sec. But look at his clubbing action. This is really important. We're gonna talk about this because in wrestling, this is just ridiculous. Okay, watch this. Okay, it's over. The whistle sounded. It's over right now. Poullas is relaxing. Watch this. Shoves him down. Punch. Ba-bang. Right there. And now look at this knee. A knee to the face. Okay, now the ref, he's finally intervening because the rest of the match he wasn't saying anything. They were clubbing each other. They were hitting each other. The ref was kind of staying out of it. And now he's trying to pry them open. Now you're going to see some more punches. This is weird stuff. Watch this. Okay, watch the aftermath here. Okay, so you can see, okay, everybody's coming in to break it up. You're going to see some punches being thrown there. Watch this. Look at you can't really see it, but the guy in the center, okay? You can see the guy in the center in the black shirt. Look at him. He's going to go and punch. He's going to go throw a punch. I think he's security. Now, why is security, event security, throwing a punch? Watch this. Okay, the guy in the middle with the black shirt. Look, okay, I guess he's tackling Georgio Poullas. Yeah, I know. He's shooting a double. I thought he was throwing a punch the first time I saw it. No, he's shooting. He's security, and he's trying to double leg Georgio Poullas. You can see it on the bottom right side of your screen. Ridiculous. Like, he's literally wrestling him to the ground. Like, what? Why is the security guard? Okay, now here you guys have the guy in the RFA shirt throwing punches. I think that's friends and family of Georgio Poullas. They're beating on some guy. They're beating on the guy who double-legged Georgio Poullas. Anyways, guys, what a debacle. What a debacle. Okay? Now, I'm going to give you guys my 2 cents. Then I'm going to open it up to comments and questions on this event. Guys, should he have hit him? I personally think yes. Why? Because for those of you who didn't see the match, and I'm sure 90% of you seen it. Okay? Because it's free. It's on YouTube. It's free. Poullas is a dirty wrestler, man. The guy is a dirty rat wrestler. Now, I think he was super nervous going up against Arman because there's no reason why such a seasoned wrestler would be so dirty. Like, if you ever done freestyle before, you're allowed to club a guy. You're allowed to snap him down. You're allowed to push him. You're allowed. But what's the difference between a club and a forearm strike? Well, impact. When you club somebody in wrestling, you're not supposed to have any impact. It's supposed to be a gradual control. Georgio was clubbing him. He was literally giving him like a forearm strike to the head. So I totally understand why Arman lost his nerve. Now, not only did he do that, he poked Arman in the eye. Okay, you poked Arman in the eye. You should apologize. If I poke a guy in the eye, I'd be like, hey, man, sorry. I'd look at the ref. Not intentional. Sorry. Nothing. He pokes Arman in the eye and he keeps hand fighting. Arman's like, hey, man, you just poked me in the eye. He's talking to the ref. Now, the ref won't do anything about it. The ref just can't wrestle. The ref was like, wrestle. And then you see Poullas, guys, watch the match closely. He's grabbing Arman's fingers and he's twisting them. Guys, when you grab hands, you have to grab all 4 fingers. You can't grab 2 fingers and start twisting them. You can't do any small joint manipulation. You can't sub a guy by breaking his finger. You can't break a man's finger in wrestling. Poullas was clubbing with impact, poking the eye. He was twisting fingers. At one point, Arman smacks him back. Poullas also was smacked Arman. Okay, add smacking to it. Okay, he clubbed him with impact. He poked him in the eye. He twisted his fingers and he smacked him. Okay, that's what we call it. Like when you're pawing to the head. He smacked him. Arman smacked him right back. Look at the ref, like, hey man. And then Poullas is looking at the ref. Well, Poullas, you just did the same thing to him 5 times. Arman was 100% in the right, in my opinion, to give him back his receipt, as they say. You can give a man back his receipt. You give him back a taste of what he did to you. Now, I personally think he should have pushed him down like he did, knee on belly, but I would have smacked him, and I wouldn't have threw the knee. I would have just smacked him. And I would have got up and said, hey man, you want to smack? We'll smack. We'll smack each other. You want to make a smacking fight? Let's make a smacking fight. I wouldn't have close fist punched him. Personally, if I was in a wrestling tournament, and I've done wrestling tournaments, I've never had a problem like this, okay? Because I've never wrestled a guy who did what Poullas did. I've never done that. I've never had I've never seen a guy so nasty. Okay, Poullas was being very nasty. Like, he was instigating a fight. This was not a wrestling match. This was a guy going in there instigating a fight. Now, why would Poullas instigate a fight with a guy who could crush him? That's, your guess is as good as mine. That was really stupid from Poullas. Poullas will get destroyed by Arman Tsarukyan. If a fight breaks out, Arman's going to destroy him. So why would you go in there with an MMA guy and start a fight with an MMA guy? Because that's what Poullas did. He went in there, and I think he did it not intentionally. He did it because he was nervous. He was super nervous, super scared to get out wrestled by what he deems as a grappler, as a jiu-jitsu guy. I mean, well, obviously, Arman's a great wrestler, but an MMA guy, I should say, not a jiu-jitsu guy. An MMA guy might come into your sport and beat you, and I think that's something that the criticism would heavily be on Poullas. Definitely. If a freestyle wrestler loses in freestyle wrestling to an MMA guy, it would be embarrassing. It would be embarrassing. Okay, so I think that's what it was. He was trying so hard that he was clawing and clubbing and smacking, and even the push. Like, guys, in freestyle, you can push. Anybody who tells you can't push, that's the biggest lie in the world. In wrestling, you can definitely push. You could shove a guy, and you could shove him as hard as you want. It's just considered dirty. It's like, it doesn't do anything. Now, if you push and pull and you try to outbalance me, yeah, if it's with a purpose, it makes sense. Okay, we're wrestling. You're trying to outbalance me. But just to shove Arman the way he did, in my opinion, he was instigating a fight. Okay, guys, so for me, I think Arman he was in the right to fight back, but I personally, if I was in this situation, I wouldn't have punched him. I wouldn't have made a close fist, because now you're escalating, you're clearing the benches now. And I would have kneed him. I would have not have kneed him, definitely. I thought that was way over the top. The punch was over the top. The knee was over the top. I would have told him, look, just smack the guy. Just smack him back. That's my opinion. Eye for an eye. It has to be proportionate. What happened after the brawl, it could have got way out of hand. Luckily, it didn't. I've seen stuff like that happen in IBJJF tournaments. I've seen stuff like that happen in local jiu-jitsu tournaments even. Like, things get out of hand. Okay, but this lands squarely on Poullas' shoulders, in my opinion. He fought very dirty. I don't understand how the ref didn't intervene. I don't get how the ref didn't intervene. And Arman, he's not being protected by the ref. He took things in his own hands. I'm with him on that. I support him on his decision. Guys, now they're talking about putting these two in a submission-only match, which I love. I love the idea. However, Arman's not really a submission guy, right? He's not the most submission-oriented guy. But it would be cool to see them go at it again. Personally, I think this time Poullas might have learned his lesson, and he won't do that kind of stuff. And that's why we have that culture in MMA and combat sports. When you do something dirty, we tell you once, twice, hey, man, we complain to the ref. The second, third time, the ref's not doing anything about it. You're going to get a shot to the head. That's just the way it is, guys. That's the way the culture is. Because why? That's how we keep everybody in line. That's how we keep each other in line. All right, guys, I'm opening up to comments and questions on this particular event. And then after that, let's open it up to Ask Me Anything. The neck brace was cringe. That's from Kai Max. Do you think he got hurt to the neck? I don't think so. I didn't see anything that would warrant a neck brace, but I don't think he requested it either. You know, like maybe it was just the paramedic at the scene just being overly cautious. He doesn't know what to expect. I thought it was overkill. Yeah, you're right. Like, why the hell is he wearing a neck brace? The guy got up. He's just fine. I didn't see any warrant for that. That's kind of true. He was bending his fingers back the whole time. That's from K-Max. K-Max, I'll tell you something. If somebody grabs your fingers like that, he deserves a smack to the head. You know, in wrestling, you're not allowed to do that. If somebody does that, like at any time in practice, like we would freak out on the guy. We're like, hey man, what are you doing? Unless he's a total beginner, he doesn't know. If I'm wrestling with a guy, I don't know, he's a blue belt, a brown belt, a purple belt, and he knows, he's been on the mats, and he starts grabbing my fingers like I'm like, hey man, what the hell are you doing? What, are you crazy? What's wrong with you? Like I would stop rolling with that. I'd be like, what's wrong with you? Trying to break my fingers here? Like it's unwarranted. You see him clear as day doing it to Arman. He's an elite wrestler. Poullas is a very seasoned wrestler. He knows you can't do that. Why would he do that on camera? We could all see it. I think he was super nervous. What's he nervous for? He's in a wrestling match. This is not an MMA match. He turned it. He's the one turning it into an MMA match. And you know what? I'll say it. I'm happy Arman smacked him. I'm happy Arman smacked him. He's going to make him a better person. He's going to realize, hey, man, I got to follow the rules like everybody else. Especially, it could have been Arman breaking the rules. Imagine Arman was poking. Imagine Arman was like scratching. What can Poullas do about it? Nothing. Nothing. Absolutely nothing. He can't throw a punch at Arman. Arman will destroy him. It doesn't make sense to me that it's the other way around. The guy who doesn't do MMA is being all dirty. It doesn't make sense. Now, with that said, guys, I'm not encouraging you guys all to start fighting when you're doing local tournaments and stuff like that. What I'm telling you is, you look at the ref, hey man, he's pulling my fingers, and the ref does nothing, and that's what happened. He told the ref, hey man, this guy's fouling me, and at one point he smacked Poullas back, and the ref's still not doing anything. I think the ref should have gave Poullas a hard warning. I would have stopped the match. I would have given him a hard warning. I'm gonna disqualify you. I would have given him a disqualification warning. I would have done something. I wouldn't have just let it be, guys. I don't know why the ref let it be. This is what I would love. I would love an interview with that ref, not me personally, but somebody interview this ref and make me understand why the hell he was allowing Pumas, Georgio, to keep clawing, slapping, clubbing. Basically, it was a forearm punch. It was a hammer fist for the forearm. It was just crazy. Kurt Angle seemed like he was cool with it. That's from K-Max. K-Max, the Kurt Angle Olympic gold medalist. Did he come out and say, hey, he deserved that? Because if he did, guys, you heard it from a gold medalist Olympian freestyle wrestler. A guy does that to you, man, you got to give it back to him. You got to give it back to him. And for me personally, the twisting the fingers, that deserves a slap. If somebody grabs your finger, guys, you can break your fingers very easily. If somebody grabs you by the fingers and crushes them like so, it's crazy painful. It's crazy dirty. We all know never to twist fingers. Like, I've never done that ever. I've never done it ever. And it doesn't make any sense that Georgio would do that. It just makes no sense. In my opinion, the moment was too big for him. He was freaking out. He was having a panic. And that's why he started doing that. Coach Arman is doing a grappling match with Poullas now. Mahad, I don't know, man. I don't know. I'm just worried Chimaev shows up to corner Arman. That's what I'm worried about. I hope it happens. I want to see that match, but I hope the security's ready, because if they bring in the Wolf and Chimaev is there and he interprets even the slightest, I hope they don't bring Chimaev, because Chimaev is a world champion. He shouldn't be involved in this kind of stuff. Arman doesn't need him. Arman can defend himself against Poullas. He doesn't need the Wolf. Okay, but if you bring the Wolf there, stuff is going to go down. And imagine he gets arrested or something and he can't fight, and what, that would be crazy. Like, the best thing for Chimaev is not to come to the event. That's really what I worry about. I hope Chimaev is not there. Not that I wouldn't love to see Chimaev in a grappling match, in a sub-only match, but I'm worried that this is going to pop off. It's going to pop off into something that he ends up in jail, can't fight, he misses a super important a title defense or something crazy like that, costs him millions of dollars. I don't think Arman needs him. This match was sponsored by Giorgio Armani. Okay, yeah, I'm looking pretty sharp, no? This is Tonori, guys. Check out Tonori, my good friend Pat Tonori. Arman is the best raw talent in the UFC. He's not even at his full potential yet. That's from King Chris. I would say he's up there. I wouldn't say he's the top talent. I would just say he's really up there. And he could rival a Topuria, Makhachev. Of course, he did amazing when he fought Makhachev. He lost against Makhachev. For those of you who didn't see it, it was an epic fight, back and forth, seesaw battle. The first man, I think the only man to ever take down Makhachev, to actually score a takedown on Makhachev. Amazing fight. They were scheduled to rematch. Arman Tsarukyan hurts his back. He's out of the title fight. Now UFC they have something against Arman Tsarukyan. They don't want him. They were so pissed that he pulled out the night before. Literally the night before. Then Moicano jumps in, saves the day. Makhachev wins with a darce in round 1. But they were furious at Sakurion. Not only that, Sakurion's fighting Dan Hooker next. So they put him on the shelf. They teach him a lesson. Then he's fighting Dan Hooker, and he headbutts Dan Hooker. For those of you who are not aware of this, okay? Arman was not on the good side of UFC. Why? He pulled out the night before a fight. You know your back is hurt. You didn't hurt your back the night before the fight. The UFC is freaking out. They put millions of dollars in pumping up this event, and now you're backing out the night before. That drives them nuts. Thank God Moicano was there. Moicano swoops in, saves the day. He's in a title fight. He gets choked. Okay, we all saw the fight. Then Arman gets booked again. He's fighting Dan Hooker. What does he do at the weigh-in? He headbutts Dan Hooker and breaks his nose. Now, Dan Hooker says his nose was broken. At the weigh-in, I saw the headbutt. I believe him. A headbutt to the nose from a shorter guy, a guy who's like this high to you. He's hitting you with the top of his head on the nose, the top of the head. Guys, this is the hardest bone in your body. This and your heel are the two hardest bones in your body. Okay, this bone right here. You're hitting one of the hardest bones, the hardest bone in the body, to one of the softer, weaker bones in your body. His nose is broke. The next day, Hooker, being the crazy guy he is, fights Arman still. Like, how many guys would take that fight? You broke my nose on the way in. Do you think I'm going to fight you the next day and give you that advantage? Hooker said yes. He stepped in, fought him. Now, UFC loves that kind of stuff. They love a guy like Hooker where you have a broken nose. Don't tell the commission. You're already past the medicals. Don't say anything about it. Get in there and get your job done. And you know what? He went in, fought with a broken nose. I really, truly believe Arman is trying to say, oh, no, he broke it during the fight. No, he didn't. He broke the fight. And we all know that. Okay, everybody knows. Everybody in the industry, we all know he broke his nose at the weigh-in. And that's dirty, man. Guys, forget what Georgio Poullas did. This is dirty. What Arman did at the weigh-ins is dirty. Now, these two guys don't like each other. Arman wins the fight. The UFC's probably super pissed off. But now, Arman's on everybody's lips. Everybody's talking about the RAF, Brawl. Like, was it that big of a deal? Everybody's talking about it. Everybody's on every single channel. Everybody's discussing it. Arman's name is hot right now, and UFC loves hot names. They love hot names. So is this going to flip the tables around for Arman? I think so. It's going to help him. Why? Everybody's talking about him. Everybody's talking about him. He's a little bit of a loose cannon. Look what he did at Hooker at the weigh-in. Arman Tsarukyan is a loose cannon. And now he has the wolf in his corner. We're going to have a Khabib-McGregor post-fight kaboom. Let's just call it a kaboom, okay? Explosion. Like, the UFC doesn't want that. That's for sure. They don't want that. What happened after McGregor versus Khabib was not good for the UFC. Why? I'm telling you guys, that's a security nightmare. People can start brawl. You ever see soccer fights? You ever see that? What happens in soccer fights? The referees are running for their lives. People are brawling. Like, we have like thousands of people brawling. You don't want that. That's a security nightmare. Trust me, there's no place for that in professional sports. It won't be tolerated. So they're gonna be on edge. UFC is gonna be on edge because if Arman behaves this way in a big UFC fight, big UFC event, look, they wouldn't put the belt on Khabib. Khabib officially beat McGregor by submission. They wouldn't put the belt on him. Why? Dana White was worried. There's so many drunk Irishmen in the stands right now. If I put this belt on you, you hear him on the mic. If I put this belt on you, there's going to be a riot. I'm not putting this belt on you. We're taking you in the back room. And I think it was a wise choice. Guys, if you have 30, 40,000 people fighting, rushing the octagon, there's no amount of security. There's no amount of security that will keep you safe. All right, guys. Loose cannons for sure, but maybe palm slaps before the ref warns both. That's from Jake Miller. I agree, guys. What's wrong with a good old palm slap? He slapped me, I slap him back. Hey, man, you slapped me twice, I owe you one more. That's what I would have said. I would have slapped him. Now, it would have still cleared the benches. Everybody jumped up, started running into fight. But if you slap a guy, that's what happens. That's what happens. I think Arman beats Ilya. That's from Souza. Souza, it's possible. It's very possible. But I would still give 55-45 Topuria. Just because I think Topuria is going to be so hard to take down. And even if he takes Topuria down, what is he going to do to Topuria on the ground? Topuria's jiu-jitsu is tight. It's elite. He's going to get back up. So how many times do you think he could take, in a 5-round fight, how many times do you think he could take Topuria down? Once? Twice? Let's call it 3 times. So what? He's not going to lay on him. He's not going to sub him. He's not going to be able to control him. And then there's going to be fisticuffs, okay? They're going to have to trade. Who has the more knockout power? Now, I know Arman has a couple of knockouts, okay? But who did he knock out? He knocked out guys with bad chins, guys who don't have good chins anymore, guys who've been knocked out by grapplers. Okay, I'm not going to say the names, but you guys know what I'm talking about. So he doesn't have the big knockout pedigree as Topuria. Topuria's knocked out the guys who've never been knocked out. So you have Arman, who's knocked out a guy who's been knocked out many times. And then you have, on the other side, Topuria, who's knocking out guys who have literally never been finished in their entire career, including Max Holloway. Max Holloway was hit multiple times by McGregor's left. Multiple times. The left shot that put away everybody in the division, save Max Holloway. And that includes Jose Aldo. So you have one of the most elite left hands ever hitting Max Holloway. Max Holloway was happy as a whistle. Topuria hits him, he goes down. Explain that to me. That tells me that Topuria is something special. Okay, so in my opinion, Arman gives Topuria a good fight, but Topuria puts him away. Guys, if I missed your super chat, it is possible. Okay, here it is. Londos, Salam coach, Arman subbed Benson Henderson in a grappling match and Dan Hooker prior. He is definitely a submission threat and will likely sub Georgio. That's from Londos. Londos. Okay, how does he take Georgio down? It's not easy to take down. Like, I know he got him down. He got him down at the end of the match. He got him down out of bounds, so it didn't count as a takedown. That was a beautiful takedown by Arman. Beautiful. I just don't think it's an easy takedown. And if he does, he's going to go quad pod, so he's going to have his hands and feet on the ground. He's going to maybe hip high stick. He might get him down on the ground, but hold him down and sub him. Tough. Okay? He's much bigger, more explosive, more athletic than, I would say, today's Benson Henderson. Benson Henderson today, guys, is not elite. He's not in his best. Okay? He's way past his prime. So he subbed the aging Benson Henderson. So yeah, he could sub Poullas. I'm not saying no. I think he could sub Georgio. Is it an easy sub? Guys, Dan Hooker, I think he's doing a lot more partying than anything else. Like, look, you're right. That is a very good point. But again, he subbed Hooker, who's on a string of losses. Okay, so I think he can sub him. Yes. It's just not going to be easy. What do you think about the matchup between Arman and MMA Guru? That's from Jack Rabbit. Man, I don't know. Guru's got the size and weight, and he's got that Guru wisdom. So I would have to pick Guru, I think. Coach, please teach MMA Guru to grapple for his comeback against Arman. That's from Jack Rabbit. Jack Rabbit, if Guru showed up to TriStar Gym, I would teach him a lesson or two. Sure. No problem. But I also teach him not to talk bad, not to say racist and sketchy things about Muslims and Arabs. Okay, I think this is not very nice. I heard what he said. I wasn't too happy. So believe me, I would teach him a lesson or two. I would make him feel the pain. I'd make him feel the pain a little bit. I wouldn't hurt him. I wouldn't injure the poor Guru. I wouldn't injure poor Guru. I like poor Guru. I just don't like the bigoted, ignorant things he says. So imagine an English fighter. I think he's English, right? Imagine an English fighter wins a fight. And I'm not happy of the way he did it. And I started hitting English slurs. Like, imagine I start saying things. I could insult English people. Obviously, I would never. I love English people. I love English people. And I go to England on a regular basis. I go at least once a year, every 2 years. Okay. And there's a lot of fine English people. I have a lot of fine English friends. And I would never say such a bad thing. But you could say something about their heritage, their history, their culture. You could hit them below the belt and say something ignorant, but it would be like really, now you're trolling, right? You're doing it for the trolls and people love that kind of stuff and you're going to get clicks, but I don't think you should talk like that, because you piss people off a lot and things can happen in the world. You go out in the real world, things can happen. So I personally would stay away from that. But me, I'm not that type of guy, okay? I would maybe rough him up a little bit, give him a little taste of medicine. I would do it nicely in a friendly way and I would hope he cuts it out. Honestly, 55-45, so 55% for Ilya, 45% for Arman is generous. Ilya would beat Arman 9 times out of 10. That's from Cross. Cross, do you think 9 times out of 10? That's man, Ilya's tough to beat, guys. Think about it, man. Even if you take him down, you're not holding him down. Even if you get him on his back, man, he's jiu-jitsu tight. He's going to get up, and then you got to deal with his hands, man. It's just not easy. It's just not easy, man. It's not an easy... You're right. I think maybe 60-40. Maybe I would give it 60-40. Not 99 times out of 100. Not 9 times out of 10. Because 9 times out of 10 is 90%. It's 90-10. No. I can't think... 90-10 means he walks over Arman. You're saying 90-10? You're saying that Ilya comes in, round 1, finishes Arman. Just breaks him. I don't see that. Okay? It's going to go in the later rounds. It's going to go around 3-ish. Arman's going to be tough, man. It's going to be a tough fight. It's going to be a wrestling. It's going to be wrestling in round 1. There's going to be back and forth battling. But who would you rather be? I'd rather be the guy who's never been knocked out and knocks out everybody than the guy who's knocked out a few guys and subbed a few guys, but he's done a lot of decisions. I'd rather be Topuria, because Topuria's finishing the who's who. He's finishing the who's who. All the names that Arman finished are great fighters, but they're not the who's who. They're not the legends of the division. Topuria's finishing legends. Okay, he finished Oliveira. Other guys have finished Oliveira, but Oliveira's still a legend. He has 3 names, 3 names of 2 unfinishable names, and he finished those 2 in the same year. Okay, so let's get real. Okay, Larry Bird, I'm gonna have to put you in a timeout, please. No more talking about mothers. Okay, so I know you're trying to justify yourself or whatever it was, but please, no more talk about mothers. Do not type the word mother anymore. Okay. Coach, if Arman was to beat Topuria, what would it take? Decision? It sounds like you don't have confidence in his ability to win that matchup. That's from Lando. Lando, I would tell you he would have to outstrike him. Eventually, he has to outstrike him because I don't think he could finish him on the ground, and I don't think he could hold him on the ground. He can't do a Shamaev DDP recipe where he's holding him on the ground and 24 minutes out of the 25 minutes you were on top of him. I don't think we see that, okay? Ilya is not going to give us a DDP performance. He's not. He's too ready. He's too well educated. He's too well trained. He knows too much. He's just not, doesn't have that kind of weakness. Doesn't have that kind of flaw. So how does Arman beat him? Arman eventually is going to get into a firefight. And how does he beat him in a firefight? It's going to have to be knees, elbows, or kicks. He's not outboxing Topuria, guys. I'm telling you. Get real. He's not outboxing Topuria. If they exchange, Topuria gets the better of him. But he struggled against senior citizen Josh Emmett. That's from Up North Fit. Guys, Up North Fit. Emmett is one of the most dangerous guys in the division. And he was beating Emmett bell to bell. He was crushing the leg. He was landing the better shots standing up. Boxing, I should say. Better boxing. And look, Emmett is smart, man. Emmett moved around. Emmett's, I think, look, he's been finished, but his fatal flaw is like body kicks. And Topuria doesn't kick to the body. Guys, Topuria, we gotta point this out on a regular basis. The man never throws a kick to the body. I mean, like to the gut, I should say. Or the head. Never. Like literally. Name me one fight where he threw a body kick or a head kick. Name me one fight. Never happens. He has a great low kick. He kicked Alexander Volkanovski. He mulched up Emmett's leg. He mulched it. Emmett's leg was mulch. He didn't kick one time to the body. Now, Emmett, he got finished by Yair. I think it was the body kicks and knees, really, that put it on him. Okay, so that really what broke him. Okay, and later on there was ground stuff. Yes, definitely. But the kicks to the body, Yair's kicks to the body, I think set up the finish on a pedestal for Yair. It was really the kicks to the body that did all the magic. I'd have to go back and review that fight, but that's what I'm remembering. It was the kicks to the body. Now, Topuria doesn't kick to the body. He punches to the body. But isn't that amazing? Isn't that amazing? Imagine you're training a guy and he's like, no, I don't do any head kicks. No, thanks. I don't want to do any head kicks. It's not for me. Really? You know what? Yeah, okay. I mean, I would be like, that guy's nuts. But it makes it work. Just to show you guys that styles are very personal. I always tell people, look, there's level and styles. How hard you work, how many years you train, that's your level. Style, that's really personal. You got to figure out your style. You got to figure out your wrestling style, your grappling style, your striking style. You got to find what works for you. And there's no trainer in the world that knows your style. And you have to discover it together. You and your trainer have to discover your particular style together. Because it's crazy, guys. I know. I've trained thousands of people. I'll tell you. You could teach 10 techniques to the same 2 guys. And out of the 10 techniques, they're both using 5, and it's very different techniques. They're not using the exact same 5. Okay. So basically, you show one technique to 2 guys. One guy likes it. One guy doesn't like it. It works for one guy. It doesn't work for the other. And we don't know why. We can maybe over time figure out why. And sometimes we get a little bit of a clue and it works for this body type, not that body type, this and that. But generally speaking, sometimes it's very mysterious. And for whatever reason, a technique works for one particular person, not another. All right, guys, I'm going to open it up now to Ask Me Anything. We're 30 minutes in. Arman, he made freestyle wrestling great again, guys. I got to say. He made freestyle wrestling. They were going to take it out of the Olympics. Everybody was protesting. We were all protesting. I signed even the petition. Don't take out freestyle wrestling from the Olympics. Why do they want to take it out? Too boring. Too boring. It's one of the greatest spectacles in sports. The average Joe is just not interested. Now, the RFA, Real American Freestyle, is like celebrity freestyle wrestling. They're saving freestyle wrestling. Take 2 famous guys. Did you notice the energy? Guys, I don't want to linger on too much on the same subject, but did you notice something? Go watch a regular freestyle wrestling match. The energy is pretty cool. In Iran, in America, I don't think they really have them in Russia. It's been a long time, but like you'll see in the wrestling in countries where wrestling is such an important sport, it's really popular. But then you have the Olympics go to another country and it's lukewarm. It's lukewarm. Like the Atlanta Games were good. And then where did they go? I forget. But it's lukewarm. People are not cheering the freestyle wrestling. It's not packed. Like if you have a world championships in Iran, it's packed and the people are screaming and cheering and you have that energy. You have that energy also in American collegiate wrestling. But freestyle, you have to have 2 celebrities. 2 guys who come from another sport. 2 guys who are influencers on YouTube and they're going to freestyle wrestling. Look, it's celebrity freestyle wrestling. It's saving the day. It's making freestyle wrestling more popular. Like they did with celebrity boxing. They're always saying, boxing is dead. They're always saying that every other year. Boxing is not dead. Boxing is still surviving. Boxing is going to be around for another 100 years easily. Okay, 20 years ago, they're saying boxing is dead. Boxing ain't dead. Even lately, people have been saying MMA is dead. UFC is dead. No, UFC ain't dead. UFC is well and doing well. They're just going through a little bit of a rough patch. They're going to cycle through mega fights. You're going to see mega fights are going to be announced, and everybody's going to be back on the UFC excitement train. It's coming. We're just on a little bit of a lull because we had these super fights that happened, and now everybody's either injured or a bit off, or the cycle is going to come back. But these guys are really going to help save freestyle wrestling. I hope they do. I really hope they do because it's an incredible sport. All right, guys, I'm opening it up to Ask Me Anything. Let's pop it off. Hi, Ustad. I'm 29 and want to start boxing seriously and train competitively. Only done fitness boxing before, no real competitive experience. My goal is to compete in amateur fights. What is your suggestion? What should I focus on? And etc. I live in Berlin. That's from Sina. Sina, you're in Berlin. There's great boxing gyms. Number 1, go to a boxing gym. If you want to compete, I would tell you shadow box once a day, and then shadow box once a day at home since you're new, and then once a day go train at the boxing gym. Hit the bag, glove up, find somebody to give you mitts, study the art as much as possible. But I would tell you do one shadow session a day by yourself at home. Maybe it's before you go to work, maybe it's on your lunch break, but add a shadow boxing session. You will skyrocket in skill in a very short period of time. Coach, Aristotle turned his student into a world conqueror. I'm your student. Can you give me the gems that will make me something like that? That's from Saeed. Saeed, that's a really good point. Socrates was the master of Plato. Plato was the master of Aristotle. Aristotle was the personal and private tutor of Alexander the Great. So you had one generation tutoring another, and Alexander the Great conquered the world. Did it have to do with the tutelage of Aristotle? Absolutely. However, Alexander the Great, he also inherited an incredible army from his father. Okay. When he inherited that incredible army, he had the creative thinking and the analytical thinking and the philosophical questioning to innovate. He had a great army and he made it a legendary army. To innovate new fighting tactics. And not only that, when he Hellenized the world, which means he spread Greek thinking to the world, he was somewhat accepting of other cultures. He gelled other cultures together. He took the good and dropped the bad in every culture. So in a way, he really united parts of the world. Now he committed a lot of atrocities. He was great at violence. He was great at subjugation. He was great at a lot of horrible things. He sodomized a lot of young men. This is a great evil. This, I would say, is the great evil that he passed around. Okay, because when he would go into a country, he would do the nastiest things to young men. Okay. Long story short, this was part of their Greek culture, though. They were spreading their Greek culture. This was, I would say, is part of the Greek culture that Plato and Socrates were trying to change. And Alexander the Great was, let's just say, he didn't learn that lesson. Don't forget, Aristotle, Socrates, Plato, they wanted to stop all this young boy love. They wanted to stop it. The Epstein type love. Okay. Alexander the Great could have abolished it. He didn't. I don't think Arman broke Dan's nose before the fight because Dan said he only tested after the fight. That's from Cross. Don't you think there was a hairline fracture and then you touch it during the fight and it's going to be obliterated? Okay, so look, when you do the mock weigh-ins, you already did the medicals. Okay, the medicals happen after the real weigh-ins in the morning. So at 9 o'clock, we weigh in. After the weigh-in, you do the medicals. Okay? Then we go back at 4 p.m. to weigh in front of the crowd. Then he gets headbutt. He doesn't get checked by the doctor again unless he complains about it. Now the UFC doesn't want him to get checked by the doctor, and neither does Dan Hooker. Why? It jeopardizes the fight. Dan Hooker went in, fought with a fractured nose. For sure it was fractured. And then you're telling me, no, it was broken during the fight. How do you know that? How do you know? Did you medically examine him? Is there x-rays? The only way you could be 100% sure is if there's an x-ray between Arman headbutting him and the fight. There was no such x-rays. To my knowledge, there is no such x-rays. Okay? If you have to take such an x-ray, your fight is canceled. If you tell UFC, the medical team, you tell them, hey, I would like an x-ray of my nose. Your fight's canceled, man. Your fight's going to be canceled. Like, they're going to be like, oh, you're in pain? You got hit? You're in pain? Oh, look, maybe your fight doesn't get canceled, but you need a clean x-ray. Like, I think he got fractured at the weigh-ins. Guys, it's a headbutt to the nose, for goodness sake, man. It's a headbutt to the nose. For sure he's fractured. Oh, la la. Coach, your take on potential Benoit Saint-Denis versus Pimblett. That's from Mindful Stoic. That would be an amazing fight. BSD versus Pimblett. That's got to happen. I agree with this fight because the winner can get another crack at the champ if they have a great performance. And this would be a great fight. It would be a grappling spectacle. I would love to watch this fight. I hope they book it. All right, guys. Hey, Coach, what should we invest in and work on pre the imminent World War III? That's from Ahmed. Ahmed, you know what? I hate to take a dark turn in this podcast, because I like to talk about happy, positive things, but I'm really worried about WW3 happening. I'm really worried about it, man. I watch the news and these guys are popping off. These guys are at each other's throats. I really hope the world comes to its senses because I don't see it as Iran the problem. I think it's a war between China and Russia on one side and America on the other. That's what I think it is, man. And they all want that oil. They want that juicy, delicious Iranian oil. And Iran's like, I got to protect my bird's nest, man. I got to protect my home. I got to protect my resources. These guys want to eat me alive. Now, I'm not making excuses for the regime. Okay, I'm not pro the regime. I'm not in love with the regime. I'm talking about the Iranian people. They want to hold on to their resources. They want to get rich off their resources. I get it. They want to live off their resources. Guys, I don't like any of the governments. Okay, so don't mistake what I'm trying to say. I'm saying the Iranian people obviously want to benefit off their resources. China wants those resources. America wants those resources. Okay, let's have a fair market price and sell it to everybody and produce oil to the world. No, they want to take that oil. They want to take that oil. Now, people are going to say, oh, it's because they want to build nukes. Yes, it's true. They want to build nukes. No doubt they want to build nukes. They had a deal with Trump. They had a deal with Obama. They won't build nukes, but you won't invade us. And then Trump comes up and rips that paper up. He rips that deal up. Well, of course, I would want nukes. Why? My neighbors have nukes, and they're all bloodthirsty. Guys, the most violent country in the world, I won't say the name because I'm going to get a strike again. I've already been stricken a few times. I'm already getting pushed down the algorithm, okay, because I keep saying the word all the time. But let's just say, I need a code word. Okay, let's just call them the white blue with the star. Okay, the white blue with the star. Now, this country is the most violent country in the world. They're literally on 7 fronts. They're literally bombing 7 different countries. Now, you could say, oh, it's because they're in a hostile neighborhood. That's what people like to say. Well, the hostile neighborhood because you came in and you took over people's homes, private homes. It's one thing to take over a government. It's another thing when you kick people out because of ethnicity. That's racist ethnic cleansing. You made an apartheid state. You bomb people indiscriminately. You commit... Look, it's not me who's saying they're guilty of war crimes. It's every international body. Literally every single NGO international body. Now, look, Coach Zahabi could say what he wants. Who cares what Coach Zahabi says? I don't care. I don't even care about my opinion is. Literally every international body. Doctors Without Borders. The UN. Save the Children. Like, literally every single one of them. They're non-governmental organizations, NGOs, are saying, look, crime after crime is happening, war crimes are happening. They're documented even before October 7th, even before the Criminal Court of Justice did an investigation, a 5-year investigation, and they found many war crimes. This has been going on for nearly 100 years. And it's creating such a hostile environment because it seems like there's no end. They're going to make it a 20-front war if they can. The stronger they are, the richer they are, the more war they're going to want. So everybody's going to want nukes now. Everybody. I would want nukes. They have nukes. Look, they threatened the U.S. that they would use a nuke if the U.S. didn't get involved in the war. If the U.S. didn't come and back them up, they're going to go nuclear. That's insane. I think that's insane. It's kamikaze-ish. It's vile. It's absolutely unacceptable. They're kicking the can down the road. Like, I think the government of the people with the star and the white and blue flag, those people, I think they're really harming the future generations. They're kicking the can down the road because everybody is being bred to think it's kill as many of them as possible and then negotiate. Harm everybody as much as possible. Bomb everybody as much as possible. Violence, violence, violence. Forget diplomacy. It's extreme violence right away. If they kill 1, you kill 1,000. If they kill 1, you kill 10,000. That's their ideology. That's the way they see things. That's the government. I'm talking about the government, not the people. And of course, the people are scared, so they have to go along with it. So it's almost like a Germany Part 2. You guys know what I'm saying. It's Germany Part 2, and it's kill, 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 kill. It's only the strong survive. Bomb, 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 bomb. And guess what? What does that lead to? Everybody else is like, okay, I'm taking my gloves off too. I got this dirty bomb. I got this nuke program that's secret. Everybody right now is saying, hey, man, we got to get to this level of defense quick. It's a race to dirty bomb. It's a race to nukes. And I don't blame them. With a neighbor acting like this, who wants just to KIL everybody. Just annihilate everybody. And they're doing it because they have so much high-tech power. But that's not going to last forever. In the next 20 years, the tech discrepancy is going to be really tiny. It's going to be really tiny. And even now, they're having problems with drones because the drones are creating a new dynamic to the war. And, of course, the missiles, the high-tech missiles that they have. And China's not going to want, it's not going to want the U.S. puppeteering and controlling all that oil in Iran. So who knows what they're going to do, guys? It's a scary time. Like, I'm not saying I know the answers. I definitely don't know the answers. But it's just a scary time. Coach, some friends of mine insist that Islam is an evil religion. They're not bad people at all, but I believe they are misguided. What can I read to them to help them understand? That's from Ike. Guys, the most persecuted religion, the religion that gets the most negative press is Islam by far. Since 9/11, I remember there was a stat that came out. There was 3 books a day printed worldwide negative towards Islam. Always. Since 9/11. I don't know if it's still going, but we get so much negative press. You could bomb an Islamic country, kill a bunch of civilians, nobody writes about it in the news. Nobody. They don't care. You kill one blue-eyed beauty in Ukraine, one blue-eyed beauty, blonde-haired, blue-eyed beauty. What? This is a war crime. And believe me, I do believe it's a war crime. I remember Putin, he bombed a hospital, and they were outraged. It was a headline everywhere. How many hospitals are left in Palestine? How many? None. None, literally. They all have been bombed. They all have been gunned down. Why isn't that an international crime? And there's other ways. If you say there's a bad guy in that hospital, there's other ways. There's easy ways to do it without bombing the people inside. There's easy ways, okay? Anybody who tells you that's the only way, that's a lie. They're telling you. Their government is saying, Amalek, Amalek, Amalek. Amalek, guys, if you don't know, guys, I've read the entire Torah. If you don't know what Amalek means, you don't know the Torah. They're calling for the G word. I'm not going to say it because, again, I've been getting hit really hard. They're using the G word. Erase them all. Okay. So now, to answer your question, you know, a lot of Christians say Islam is evil, but Jesus in the Gospels, he says, you're going to know them by their fruits. You're going to know who's saying the truth by their fruits. What's their fruits? Because, you know, everybody could be a slick talker. And even in the Bible, it says somebody's going to show you miracles. They're false prophets. Even miracles is not proof. They're a false prophet. Don't believe them. If they tell you worship another God and they show you miracles and wondrous signs, they show you wondrous signs. They tell you, hey, tomorrow there's going to be an eclipse and there's an eclipse in the sky, and they show you wondrous signs. They prophesize and they do things and they're incredible. Don't believe them. They could still be false prophets. How do you believe them? How do you know? How do you know if they're a real prophet? Well, according to Jesus himself, good fruits. Good trees bear good fruits. Look at all the Islamic countries. They have the least amount of, let's use the 10 Commandments as a standard. Let's use the 10 Commandments as a standard. The 10 Commandments are the 10 big rules God wants you to follow, according to Muslims, according to Christians, according to Jews. We all agree these are the big 10 rules. Even the atheist is going to agree. Even the atheist is going to say, look, that's a nice summation. That's a nice summation. What are the biggest rules? Okay, 1, thou shalt not murder. Muslim countries has the lowest rate of murder compared to Christian countries by far. We're leaps and bounds. Guys, put in the Latin American countries. You guys have exploded the statistics. The Christian side has exploded the statistics. You're off the chart in murder. You're off the chart in murder. Okay? Throw in the American killing machine, forget about it. Now we're in another universe of statistics. Guys, if you don't know ancient history, there's no group that has killed more people. There is no group that has killed more people on the face of the earth than the Christian expansion movement. The Christian imperialists, they killed the most people on the face of the earth. There's no doubt about it. Statistically speaking, they killed the most. You'd have to go all the way back to Genghis Khan to find somebody who can rival them. Okay? The Christians have been around a lot longer than Genghis Khan, so they've killed the most. Okay? By far. The least tolerant. Forceful conversion. The Holocaust was done by people with a Christian heritage. Okay? A Christian heritage. Now, here's the thing. You're going to say, no, coach, the Holocaust was more secular. It was inspired by the Spanish Inquisition. It was also inspired by Darwin. I will give you that. But who's the bad guy in the gospel? Who is the people who have the blood of Christ in the gospel? It literally says, you know who. Okay? Let's call it the people with the star with the blue and white flag. Okay, they're blamed for it. They're blamed for it in the text. There's literally a passage in Matthew. It says, if he's the Messiah and we crucify him, because they're trying to persuade the Romans to crucify him, we'll have the blood on our hands and our children's hands. Literally, they're taking liability. Okay, now I don't believe that. Muslims, we don't believe that. The Quran specifically says the people of the white and blue flag, they did not kill him. It literally said that explicitly. So they did not kill the Messiah, nor did they crucify him, it says. It says that group didn't do it, even though they boast about it, even though they might tell you they did it. Because if you read in the Talmud, writings that came later after Christ, the Jews are saying, we did it. They're boasting about it. A sliver of them are trying to boast about it, and it's in their writings, and then the Christians took them to task about it. Okay, so if you know your history, there's a lot of beef here. The Quran says No, they didn't do it. The Quran exonerates the people with the blue and white flag with the star in the middle. It exonerates them. It says, don't go after them. They're not guilty of this crime. So you have to know your history, guys. So one, thou shalt not murder. The Muslim countries have the best fruit. Thou shalt not steal. Again, guys, you're cooked on this one. The Christian countries have the most stealing. Thou shalt not commit adultery. Again, the most adulterous nations are the Christian heritage. Have Christian heritage. Guys, I'm not trying to be negative towards Christianity. I'm just saying, look, we have to look at the stats. I think Christianity is a true religion. I think Christianity, Christ was real. I believe in Jesus Christ is what I'm trying to tell you. I believe in the gospel. I believe in the Torah. I believe in your books, but I also believe in the Quran. So the Quran is bearing better fruit is what I'm trying to tell you. You guys bear good fruit. I think Christianity was misinterpreted. I think Christianity was hijacked by extremists. I believe in all that. So guys, I'm not blaming Christianity as a text. All I'm saying as the fruit. What have they done? What is their pedigree? Thou shalt not kill. Thou shalt not murder. Thou shalt not steal. Thou shalt not covet thy neighbor's wife. All these things, Islam is by far excelling. By far. Okay? And above all, there's only one God. The number one commandment, never break this commandment. There's only one God ever. No partners, no deities, no worshipping of other gods, etc. You can't touch Islam, and you can't touch that. You can't touch Islam. Islam is the most monotheistic religion on the face of the earth. So who bears the most fruit? Here's what I got to tell you, okay? I think the message of Islam is really this, okay? It boils down to this. Islam is telling you, look, what do you really know about Jesus? What are you sure about? What are you sure about? Like, you're sure, number one, he believed in the Torah. You're sure, number one, you're sure also that you're certain he was preaching. You know that for sure. And you know for certain he believed in one God, okay? You know he believed in the Torah. You know he preached the gospel. And you know for certain he believed in one God. All that other stuff, he was crucified. He said he was himself God. All these things you're not sure of. It's a crazy debate. There's a first century disagreement. There's all sorts of how should I say, disagreements, okay? And the more you go back in Christianity, the more Jesus is a prophet, a human, and less of a God. The lower the Christology, okay? So if Christology is high, Jesus is one with God. He is God, okay? If Christology is low, he's above human beings. He's a super prophet. He's a really important person, but he's not God. The earlier back you go in Christianity, the lower the Christology. What does that tell you? What does that tell you? That tell you, well, if you went all the way to the beginning, he probably would never said he was a God, okay? So, long story short, I don't want to make the segment too long, but ask your friends this: who's bearing the better fruit? That's how you're supposed to know. That's the objective metric. The 10 commandments are the fruit. Who's spreading the 10 commandments? Nobody spread it more. Nobody spread it more around the world than Muhammad alayhi salam. Nobody spread the commandments more, because you're going to tell me, oh, the Christians are more populous. Yes, they're more populous, but they gave up on the law. They don't spread the law. You could be in a Christian country and have a girlfriend, a wife, a girlfriend, and a mistress. No problem. You can get a woman pregnant, have the baby out of wedlock. No problem. Go do that in a Muslim country. You can't. You can't take a girl in a hotel room. She's not your wife. They won't let you. They're going to say, hey, man, sorry, man. You can't take this woman in the hotel room. Why? That's somebody's sister. That's somebody's, I don't know, wife that you're trying. We're not going to let you do it. We're not going to let you do it. So I'm telling you, who's bearing more fruit? Look at the stats. I don't even have to justify it. Anybody who looks at the stats will see that we're winning, or we're not winning. We're practicing the 10 commandments far more than anybody else, far more than any other group. So that's your good fruit. Here we go. We're popping off on some more super chats. Okay, salam coach, missed my super chat. That's the story of the day. Coach Arman Tsarukyan, what would it take? Did that one. Coach, here's my prediction. Ilya fights Justin next, and Arman fights Max. Arman fights Max? Arman's fighting this weekend, and you think he's going to come back to fight Max? That would be pretty crazy. Okay, let me read that again, Lando. Coach, here's my prediction. Ilya fights Justin next, and Arman fights Max Holloway. If he beats Charles, winner of each fight faces other. Thoughts? That's from Lando. That would be pretty cool. I would love to see Arman versus Max Holloway. I would love to see that. Do we want to see Justin Gaethje versus Topuria at the White House? Yes, I would love to see that. But I really want to see Makhachev. But they won't do Makhachev. I thought about it more. There's no way they're going to do Makhachev. Why? He comes from a certain place of the world where they wouldn't want that guy to get the belt at the White House in front of everybody. It's too politically charged. Does an American like Justin Gaethje get knocked out cold in front of the president in the White House? That's another political nightmare. But it's not. It's the lesser of two evils. Who are they going to put, guys? They need John Jones, Pereira. John Jones is the champ. He's going to do the Trump dance, and maybe that's why we're going to get. I think they're lining up to give us Pereira Jones, but the fans aren't going to be happy. You know why? I'll tell you why. You guys are going to be like, yay, okay, let's go watch the fight. After the fight, it's going to be exactly what we thought. A takedown, a sub, a takedown, a sub. It's just done. And then everybody the next day is going to be like, that was horrible. Why did we tune in? Like, there's going to be probably a lot of negativity. Why? It's going to be an easy takedown. It's going to be a very... Think about it, guys. He took down Cyril Gane. Cyril Gane moves around. He's more of a movement guy than Pereira. Pereira sits still mostly. He sits still and comes forward, and he stands tall like a Thai guy, and he throws low kicks. He wants the calf kick. Guys, if you calf kick John Jones, that's a most ridiculous strategy. He's going to shoot in your leg. He's going to take you down. He's not in position to defend the takedown. He's going to get crushed by John Jones, man. Don't even debate me on this. Please, don't even debate me. Some people were writing me, oh, you're overdoing it on Pereira. Pereira can give John Jones a good fight. I don't think he can. And you guys are going to lose your minds after. You're going to be all like, oh, we didn't like this fight. This fight sucked. Why did the UFC book this fight? It was obvious. Everybody's going to be armchair quarterback on Monday and saying we got gypped. That's why I really hope they don't do that fight. I'm really hoping, ultimately, in my heart of hearts, I want to see Makhachev Topuria. But I'm realizing now, with the wars popping off, all the stress happening in the world, they're not going to let some, let's call him Russian guy. Okay, I know he's from Dagestan, but to the Americans, he's a Russian. He speaks with a funny accent, and he's just Russian. He's USSR. How many hours a week do UFC pros train? I would tell you minimum 2 sessions of 2 hours a day. Okay, so 4 hours a day. And maybe 1 day a week, just 1 session. So Saturdays will just come in for like a 2-hour session. But sometimes the practice could be a little bit longer than that. Okay, so think about it. 4 hours times 5, that's 20 hours. Plus, let's say a 2-hour session on Saturday, that's 22 hours, I would say. But let's say 20 to 30 hours a week. But it's tough. You have to recover between those 2 workouts. And it's not easy. It's not easy to do it. Believe it, it's not easy to punch in the clock day after day. Sorry, I didn't finish reading. How many hours a week do UFC pros train? I see these guys train like 8 hours a day, 6 days a week, which doesn't seem sustainable. That's from Water Loose Finest. Water, I would tell you, look, if you count out all the warm-up and all that, like if I'm counting the drilling and the sparring and the situation and the games, I call it situational training, and the hitting the bag, I would say 2 hours. The hanging out, having a shake after talking, okay, maybe it's 3 hours, so double that, you're at 6-7 hours, okay? But that's more like, okay, the guy went for a shower and he chit-chatted and came back and he sat at the juice bar and had a drink. I don't count that as training. I'm telling you, actual work, it's 2 hours, okay? Nobody's training 4-hour workouts. Nobody's doing that. All right, guys, we're rounding up 1 hour. Oh, another super chat. Maybe I'm going to ask you guys to cool on the super chats because I got to get out of here soon. And I hate you guys to spend money and I didn't answer your question. Hey, Coach, can you please upload some of your old fights to the channel? I would be amazing to see the GOAT in action. That's from Nick. Nick, I have them on video cassette. So I was talking to George because we did a podcast and he's like, give me some of your old fights. I'm like, dude, we have to find a guy who can take video cassette and turn it into digital. So I'm calling an SOS. Anybody who could come to TriStar Gym, anybody, because I'll never remember to do this, come to TriStar Gym, say, hey, Coach, I'm ready to take your tapes and turn them to digital. I'll give you my tapes, and you could please turn them into digital, and I'll put them on the channel. It'll be fun. I'll do a fight breakdown analysis of my fights, guys. I would love to do that. Guys, if you want to see, I'll show you a picture of me, how lean I used to be. Guys, I used to walk around 185. I'd have to dig through my photos, but I was very, super lean. I used to walk around 155. Anyways, I would love to put them on digital, but I fought in a time where fights are on video cassette. Guys, I would love to put up my amateur fights. I would love it. Coach, how can I counter the knee feint with striking? I find it draws out my defense, or I retreat, so ultimately lose ground as well. That's some sulk, kick-ass sulk. Check out Commands and Signals Volume 2. Guys, I highly, highly recommend you guys do Volume 1 and Volume 2. It's an amazing program. In that, I teach the archer's pose versus knee. That's my #1 bread and butter. So check it out, okay? And don't forget to use Get 50 Off, promo 50 off. It's on your screen, okay? Get 50% off anything on jujutsuclub.com. Guys, I forgot to mention it. I released side-to-side passing made simple, Advanced Basics 31. Check it out. It's popping. It's doing really well. Make sure you guys check it out. And don't forget, guys, Apex Meditation. This episode is brought to you by Apex Meditation. I totally forgot to mention it, but who cares? You guys are going to check it out. You guys are already using it. People are already loving it. I'm very happy to see that this app is in your hands. You guys are going to love it. If you want to take your mind to the next level, you want to supercharge your motivation, you want to give yourself discipline, check out Apex Meditation, guys. You will not regret it. What was I? Okay, I had super chats. I had to get bang out, and then we got to end this soon. Opinion on Hugo versus Pedro Marinho. Takedown during last week's IBJJF Grand Prix final. Can you find shorts on it on YouTube? That's from Bentahila. I didn't see that match. I love Victor Hugo, and I love Marinho. Let's see. Should I put it up? Let's put it up. All right, I'm going to put it up. I want to see this takedown. Victor Hugo versus Marinho. Let's see if I can find it. All right, here we go. Oh, no. There it is. No, not this one either. No, it's not there. No, all I got is Victor Hugo, who submits Nicky Rod. Oh, here we go. I found it. Okay, here we go. I got it, gentlemen. Here it is. A little bit of button pushing magic. Check this out. Look at this. I know how to push the buttons now. And voila. Look at that, man. How long did that take? Somebody time me, man. Somebody time me. Somebody time this button pushing excellence. I know I'm getting cocky, guys, but that's the way it is. When you're a button pusher, you control the world. Button pushers control the world, friends. Don't hate on my button pushing skills. And voila, as they say en français. All right, here we go. All right. Victor Hugo. Oh, that's dirty. I'm going to give it a like. I got to give it a like. That's dirty. That's dirty. Victor Hugo. That's dirty. I got to see that again. That's really dirty. He's laughing about it. That's funny. Look, guys, I'm going to teach you guys something really important. He turns around. Bam. Bam. Oh, man, that's dirty. Okay, that's dirty. Guys, that's filthy. But I'm going to teach you guys something you should never forget, okay? And I tell my guys this in sparring as well. Protect yourself at all times. You can't turn around and look at the time. You can't do that. Now, is it dirty? Yes, it's dirty. But you also should protect yourself at all times. Sometimes I have guys sparring and they separate from the clinch and one guy hits the other. And the other guy gets angry. Hey, man, you hit me off the break. I always tell them, hey, man, whoa, calm down. Number one, protect yourself at all times. And two, he should hit you off the break. He's doing you a favor because when you fight, the guy's allowed to hit you on the break. Now, I think when I separate from somebody, I'm doing sparring, I'm MMA sparring. When I separate, I just give a little love tap. I don't really strike the guy, but I had a guy one time lose a fight like that. He was killing this guy. I had one of my fighters fighting on a local card. He was killing the guy. He was just crushing him. And they separate from the clinch, and he kind of shook his hands, and he kind of took a little break. And then, bam, he got hit with a spinning back elbow, and he couldn't survive the round, and the guy finished him. And before that, he was winning. He was doing fantastic. And I told him, it's a bad habit you guys have when you separate in practice It's like an unwritten rule. We take a little breather because we don't want our cardio to get taxed. I hate this habit. I always tell the guys when they're clinching, I always say separate smart, meaning separate fighting. Either you're hitting the guy or you're defending. Don't just separate and take a little break. Now this guy, he's looking around like he's in the practice room. You're not in the practice room. You're in a competition right now. Protect yourself at all times, guys. Live by those words, okay? Live by those words. So look, it was dirty. I think he was laughing at himself a bit at the end. But you got to protect yourself at all times, man. First breakup after 9-month relationship. She lied before and I became controlling. Whoa, heavy, guys. We took a left turn. That's what I love about this podcast. We went from fighting, protect yourself at all times, and now protect yourself at all times. Protect yourself at all times takes on a whole new meaning. This is from Lei Singa. He says, first breakup after a 9-month relationship. She lied before and I became controlling. I ended it but tried to get her back right away. But she blocked me. I love her and I feel like I'm spiraling. Advice? That's from Lei Singa. Lei Singa. You came to the right man, the doctor. Okay? Listen to me. You got to think like this. There are millions and millions of women out there in the world. She's just one of them. There are billions of women, but you know what I'm saying. Available to you, within your parameter, within you can possibly be with. Don't obsess with this one girl. You're being obsessive. You got to cut her off, okay? If she lied to you and then she tells you, look, here's the thing, okay? Let me just reiterate something, okay? The man in the West is in a bit of a dilemma. Why? He meets a girl. When he meets a girl, she's already half naked, okay? She's dressed really sexy. She's dressed in a short skirt. She's showing her cleavage. She's wearing a beautiful perfume. Her hair is done. She's super attractive. He sees her. His eyes pop out of his head. He's like, ooh, ooh. Like he's like in love with this girl. He meets her. He talks to her. He gets her to date. He's involved with her now. He's having a relationship with her. Then all of a sudden, he's like, I got to go to work. I got to go away on a trip. I got to go away. She's still walking around in those tight shorts. Well, hold on a second. Let me have a talk with her. Hey, I know when I met you, my eyes popped out of my head, but now I'd like you to like wear something less revealing because when you go out, I don't want guys gawking over you, running after you, foaming at the mouth for you. Because you want to like protect your relationship. And of course, she's going to be like, hey, wait a second, you're controlling me. She's going to tell her girlfriends. Her girlfriend's going to be like, oh, that's so controlling. And she's going to tell you, well, I dress this way for me. I like to dress this way because I feel good doing it. Well, if you feel good doing it, dress around, close the door, close the curtains in the house and dress any which way you want in the house. If you're really doing it for you, why are you going out there in public like this? A lot of men are going to be like, hey, I like my girl. I want to keep her. I want to protect her. I don't want guys hitting on her. So you want to try to kind of like get her dressed more modestly. And of course, you're going to get resistance in the West because why? Now our culture says that's controlling. That's obsessive. That's controlling. So you're like, oh, well, if she's going to be having guy friends. And I love how in the West, they say she has a friend date. So she goes out with a guy on a date, but they're just friends. Like just crazy. Like for me, I find this absurd. But I know the young generation, they have to navigate these kind of cultural crazy ideas. I call them cultural crazy. It's this craziness in culture. So what do? You want the girl. You want to have a good relationship with her. You maybe want to have something serious, but she's also got to be kind of like single at the same time. She's got to be able to do what she wants when she wants. I think you got to cut it. Personally, I think if all men cut it, if we all like have a backbone, women won't behave this way. Because here's the truth of the matter is. Here's the truth. No man, I know a lot of people are going to be like, no, coach, I'm confident. That's why I let my girl go out and do what she wants whenever she wants. If she's going to do something bad, well, I can't stop it. And that's the way it is. And I'll deal with it then. And they give me this kind of speech. And I hear young guys talk like that. Well, it's also an insult to you because I don't think my girl's going to do anything. But you know what? It's also an insult that she's out flirting and talking and drinking and having basically a good time with other men that you don't know. I think it's a total disrespect. Personally, I wouldn't tolerate that. I would dump the girl. But people think that's crazy. That's nuts. That's obsessive. That's controlling. So be it, man. Then I tell girls, I tell girls, I have a standard for what I want. If you're not that standard, no problem. Go your way. That's it. That's what I say. It's free market out there, man. You want a guy who doesn't care, let you do what you want. Let her find the guy like that. I'll tell you what's going to happen, my friend Lei, this is what's going to happen. This is what happens to women. Guys, try to notice this in society. It's a pandemic. Women, when they hit 30, they start losing their beauty. It starts to fade. Now look, they can be smoking hot, but they're not as smoking hot as when they were 25, 26. I said it starts. Okay, so the phone rings a little less. The invitations get a little bit less. The likes get a little bit less. And all of a sudden she starts saying, at 35, I can't have kids. I gotta find Mr. Right now. So she starts, the tables turn. Like, you didn't tell me how old you are, but I'm just telling you, wait. The tables turn. She might come back to you later on and beg you to date her. All I'm telling you is be wise about it. I don't know your age, but you should be focused on your career, success, money, and then settle down with a girl. Because here's the thing. If you have to fight with your girl or argue with a girl to keep her, you don't want her. You don't have enough of her respect. You don't have enough success in your career. You don't have enough resources. You don't have a house. You don't have a job. You don't have enough money in your account for her to show you respect. That's what she's telling you. I think, in my interpretation, call me crazy, she's telling you, look, you might not be the best. I could maybe do better than you. So I'm going to keep my options open. That's how I interpret that behavior. Now, people might call me crazy. That's how I interpret it. I tell a girl, hey, if you want to be with me, it's got to be like this, like that, like that. This is how I want my significant other to be. Can you live like that? No? No problem. Take the door. Because I'm not going to lower my standards. So I would tell you, don't try to negotiate. Don't try to argue. Don't try to logically prove your point. Tell your point. Look, I don't think you should dress like that. It's inappropriate. That's how I see things. You don't agree? Take the door, baby. Take the door. Ciao. Bye-bye. That's it. Done. You got to have that backbone. You got to have that self-respect. And you got to find the girl that's right for you. This girl is not right for you. You're telling me you're spinning. Well, you're spinning because you're mentally weak. Not because she left you, but because you have a weakness. There's a weakness in your armor. Okay, so maybe Apex Meditations can help you a little bit. Okay, check it out. Get your mind right. Get your mind right. Get your money right. Get your character right. You have to have a good, respectable character, of course. You know, you can't be a child about it. Get yourself in the right state of mind. Spiraling? You're spiraling over a woman? That's crazy talk. That's crazy talk. Coach says that's crazy talk. I want you to take a cold shower and slap yourself in the face. No man should spiral over a woman. Never. Okay. I wish I could bring my wife out here right now. I wish I could bring her out right now. She came home from work. Do you think I would spiral out of control? No, hell no. Hell no, guys. Come on. Have some backbone, for goodness sake. All right, guys. I got to end it on a fun one. No more super chats, please, gentlemen. No more super chats. Let's end it on something fun. Okay, I got another one I got to bang out. Guys, I'm going to bang out the super chats, but give me something funny. Okay, here we go. Coach, I'm loving Apex, especially the book section. Would you consider quickly watching my CJJ match? Devin Tuck CJJ. It's fairly quick. My CJJ match? What's... Okay, your combat jiu-jitsu? All right, let's do it. And that's the last one, guys. I'm ending it on this. Okay, so Devin Tuck CJJ. I love how you did that. That's beautiful. Devin Tuck CJJ. Devin Tuck. I love how you did it. Devin Tuck CJJ. Combat jiu-jitsu, guys. We're going to see some combat jiu-jitsu. Is that it? Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Oh, yes, my friends. It's up. It's up. Is this it? Yes, sir. I hope you're going to let me know who you are. And, oh, yes. Oh, yes, guys. This is going to be good. I love these. I personally I love seeing the subscribers fight. I love it. I don't know why. I love watching you guys fight, man. I got to kick out of it. I'm going to do an all-fight channel. An all-fight channel of you guys fighting. All right, here it is. This is Devin. All right, Devin. And where's the fighting, man? Okay, here it is. Here it is. There's no sound for some reason. Oh, no, we do have sound. Okay, is this combat jiu-jitsu? Once it hits the ground, we have slaps to the head, I believe. Okay, you guys could be brothers, man. You guys could be twins. I wish you would have told me which one you are. I'm assuming you're the guy on the right. All right, I'm going to pause it for a second. No, hold on a second. I got to pause it for a second. I need to know which guy you are. Hold on. I got to pause it for a second. I got to pull this up here. Little button pushing, guys. I'll be with you in half a second. Half a second. I need to know which man he is. All right, it's back up. Guys, please let me know in the comment section, which man is he? Are you the guy with the hot dogs on his shorts? Okay, good takedown. We got a takedown. Beautiful. All right. The guy on the bottom doesn't know anything. He's just staying there. Oh, this is frozen? Oh, no. Okay, I thought it was... The guy on the bottom, just you can tell by his leg action. He's not doing much. Okay, so... Von Flu. He's asking... The coach is asking you to do a Von Flu. Now, we're not getting the best camera angle. Okay, we're zooming in. Finally, here we go. All right, I was about to zoom in. The cameraman did it. All right, this is a bit of a snoozer, Devin. It's a little bit of a snoozer. Are you allowed to hit him here? Now you know how Shamayev feels. Imagine everybody starts booing you here. All right, he's scrambling to his knees. Are we chasing the back? Half guard. All right, you got chest-to-chest position here. I think you're going to sub him, right? Because the time seems to be... The video seems to be ending soon. All right, I'm going to skip through a little bit. Okay, guys, I'm skipping just a little bit here. Is that a Kimura? Oh, we got Kimura action. Okay, here you got to use your free leg to... No. Your cornerman's wrong. You got to free your trap leg. You got to use your free leg to escape your trap leg. Okay, there you go. There you go. All right, there it is. Kimura. All right, man. All right, David. Great job, man. Congratulations. All right, that's pretty cool. Oh, the guy's jacked. You took down a jacked guy. Look at that guy. He's jacked. You've been hitting the hot dogs a little bit too hard. I'm not going to shame you too badly because you took down a guy who's crazy jacked, much more jacked than you. And that's always impressive, but you got to kind of tighten up the diet a little bit, bud. You know, because the guys now in the chat, they're going to give you a hard time. You know, I'm just giving you a heads up because I know they're going to be after you now. All right, man, that was a good Kimura. I liked it. That's a good job. You did good. All right, guys. I think I'm going to end it on that. That was pretty fun. All right, guys. Thank you for tuning in. I'll see you all in the next episode. Thank you.